Welcome to the How to Become a GUS Lender and Set Up Users training module presented by the USDA Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program. In this training module, we cover the following training objectives. Understand the steps the lender needs to take to access GUS. There are two ways to participate in the USDA Guaranteed Loan Program using GUS, either as an approved lender or as a lender agent or broker. Get familiar with the USDA LINC training and resource site. Understand how to set up a Login.gov account. Understand the important forms necessary to complete for approval and for future updates. And finally, understand the role of the Security Administrator. Let's discuss how to gain access to GUS for current USDA approved lenders. First, the approved lender must maintain their USDA approved lender status with the agency. All required parties that will access GUS must complete all applicable GUS training modules. The security administrators must activate Login.gov IDs and passwords. The lender must complete the required GUS approval paperwork. Finally, the lender will submit all required paperwork and evidence of training completion to USDA for review and approval. Mortgage brokers and other lending professionals that are not eligible to become a USDA-approved lender or prefer to participate in the program as a correspondent lender may still be eligible to utilize GUS through the following steps. Many approved USDA lenders will grant their correspondent lenders access to GUS as an agent in order to more efficiently submit loan files for underwriting. Lender agents will need to review the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program System Access and Security Guide on how to set up a Login.gov ID. The agent can then provide their activated EOS, Login.gov ID, and lender agent tax ID to the approved USDA lender. The approved lender can activate the agent in GUS under their company name and tax ID. Please note that in some cases, the lender agent, tax ID, and address will have to be added to USDA's system in order for the approved lender to set up the agent. In that case, the approved lender or agent can request that USDA add their information into the system. A message will be returned to the approved lender, and they will communicate to the lender agent how to proceed if necessary. GUS training must be completed by all required parties who will be accessing GUS before the GUS lender application is submitted to USDA for review. Proof of training will be in the form of a training certificate for each completed module. To access training, follow these steps. Navigate to the USDA RHS LINC homepage at https://usda-linc.sc.gov.usda.gov/RHSHOME.do. Select Training and Resource Library under Single Family Guaranteed Rural Housing. Select Guaranteed Underwriting System, GUS, under LINC Training Library. Then, under Training, there will be GUS training modules for review. Security administrators and users with final underwriting submission privileges are also required to complete the GUS trainings. Please note that USDA highly recommends that existing GUS users take all GUS and USDA origination training for a better understanding of expectations, requirements, and to achieve a greater knowledge of guidelines. To learn everything you need to know about GUS, such as training, user guides, and forms, utilize the USDA LINC Training and Resource Library. We have attached a screenshot of what the page looks like, as well as a copy of the web URL to access the RHS LINC site directly. The URL is https://usda-linc.sc.gov.usda.gov/RHSHOME.do. When you select the link, the main page of RHS LINC Home will display. Navigate to the Training and Resource Library under Single Family Guaranteed Rural Housing. Then select Guaranteed Underwriting System, GUS. Select the link you want to explore. To access the paperwork needed to become an approved GUS lender, select the Gaining Access to GUS link. This site will be your primary resource to view GUS updates, training, manuals, and forms. Now let's review how to set up a Login.gov account. The step-by-step instructions are included in the link for the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program System Access and Security Guide on the USDA LINC Training and Resources webpage under the LINC Training Library section. Step 1, navigate to the RHS LINC homepage website from the link https://usda.linc.sc.egov.usda.gov/RHS-HOME.do. Select Training and Resource Library under Single Family Guaranteed Rural Housing. And then step 2, utilize the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program System Access and Security Guide to view step-by-step instructions on setting up a Login.gov account. Next, we will discuss the GUS User Agreement. The GUS User Agreement is located within the link GUS User Agreement and Training Cert in the GUS Documentation and Resources section. Please note that only approved USDA lenders can apply for GUS access. On this slide is a view of the first page of the GUS User Agreement. The agreement is a fillable PDF. Please read all 8 pages of the agreement. Under the Lender Security Administrator Information section of the form, please enter the names and applicable information for 2 security administrators. Only the security administrators can add employees to GUS and determine the level of access each user will have. When USDA approves the lender for GUS access, it is the listed security administrators that will receive the email notification. You might be wondering, can only one security administrator be listed? Yes, but USDA highly recommends 2. People get sick, take vacations, leave jobs, etc. By having at least 2 security administrators, there is a greater chance that the lender will be able to continue to manage their GUS needs if one security administrator becomes unavailable. Refer to the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program System Access and Security Guide under the Security section to help explain the GUS User Agreement. When complete, this document may be emailed to the address at the bottom of page 1 of that form. Important, ensure a complete application package is submitted for review, including the training certificate. After USDA receives and approves the lender's complete application package to become a GUS user, the following will occur. USDA will email the security administrators listed on the GUS user agreement to share the good news. The security administrators may log into GUS and use the system. Employees and agents may provide their activated EOS Login.gov IDs to the security administrators. Security administrators can log into the authorization menu option from the GUS welcome screen to begin entering IDs in order to assign GUS access and privileges. Please refer to the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program System Access and Security Guide for step-by-step instructions to add or remove employees and agents from GUS. If your complete GUS application loan package has been approved by USDA, you can now originate guaranteed loans through USDA's own guaranteed underwriting system. Welcome to GUS. Let's go into more detail on some additional things to know when it comes to the security administrator role. In the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program System Access and Security Guide, there are step-by-step instructions for a security administrator on how to enter the authorization screen and set up employees and agents. Approved lenders cannot add or delete security administrators without assistance from USDA. When a lender needs to add or delete a security administrator, they should go to the USDA LINC Training and Resource Library webpage. Select Guaranteed Underwriting System, GUS, under the LINC Training Library. Scroll down to the Security section under Documentation and Resources. The Adding, Removing Security Administrators fillable form is available for completion. Once filled out, the lender will send the form back to USDA for review and processing. It is important to note that the approved lender must request the security administrator be removed upon departure of employment with the approved lender. The security administrator will have access to the Application Authorization Management System, AASM, service within GUS. The link is located on the GUS homepage and is labeled Go to AASM. The next slide will go into more detail on what happens when the security administrator selects the AASM link. When the security administrator selects the AASM link on the GUS homepage, it connects them to the Application Authorization Security Management System, or AASM. This is the online source that will allow the security administrator to enter an employee's activated EOS Login.gov ID and select the appropriate levels of access for the user. The AASM page will allow security administrators to authorize employees and agents such as third-party originators, grant, modify, or remove level of access of automated systems for all users. Security administrators will be appointed to oversee user access to all applicable systems such as GUS, lender loan closing, guaranteed annual fee payment, loan status reporting, lost claim submissions, etc. For step-by-step directions on this process, see the Single Family Housing System Access and Security Guide under the Security section.